In one quiet neighborhood lived two different families. One family believed that children should be raised with love, discipline, and the fear of God. The other family believed children would simply grow on their own without guidance. At first, both homes looked normal from the outside, but as time passed, the results of parenting slowly began to show. Every morning, Mr. Daniel gathered his family together before anyone left the house. They prayed together, read the Bible together, and encouraged one another with love. Their children were taught respect, honesty, kindness, and self-control from a young age. The parents understood that raising children was not only about feeding the body, but also guiding the heart. Just a few houses away, another family started their mornings very differently. There were no prayers, no guidance, no real conversations. The parents were too distracted by their own problems to pay attention to the behavior of their children. Whenever the children misbehaved, they were ignored instead of corrected. As the children left for school, the difference between the two homes became even clearer. Samuel left home with wise words from his parents, still fresh in his heart. But Kelvin walked out carelessly, already following friends who were leading him down the wrong path. One child carried discipline. The other carried confusion. At school, Samuel listened carefully to his teachers and respected everyone around him. But Kelvin constantly caused trouble in class. He mocked serious students, ignored instructions, and slowly became known for bad behavior. The choices children make often reflect the training they receive at home. Kelvin soon found himself surrounded by dangerous friends. They introduced him to smoking, skipping school, and stealing small items. At first, he felt uncomfortable. But because nobody at home corrected or guided him, he slowly accepted their lifestyle. The wrong company became his new family. One evening, Mr. Daniel sat beside his son Samuel and shared words that would remain in his heart forever. He reminded him that life would always offer temptations, but character would determine his future. Samuel listened carefully because his parents had built trust, love, and communication inside their home. While Samuel grew in wisdom, Kelvin spent more time on the streets. He returned home late at night and became increasingly disrespectful. His parents noticed the changes, but they waited too long to act. Sometimes, silence from parents can become permission in the mind of a child. Kelvin's mother began to worry deeply. She could see her son changing before her eyes. But whenever she tried to correct him, his father defended the bad behavior instead. The lack of unity between the parents only pushed Kelvin further into rebellion. At church, Samuel learned valuable lessons about purpose, discipline, and integrity. Positive mentors surrounded him and encouraged him to stay focused. He discovered that godly training does not weaken a child. It strengthens them for the future. One afternoon, Kelvin followed his friends into the market. What started as a joke quickly became a crime. Under pressure from his friends, he stole a woman's phone and ran away. That single moment became the beginning of serious consequences. Later that night, police officers arrived at Kelvin's house. His mother stood frozen in shock, while neighbors watched from outside. The same parents who once ignored warning signs were now forced to face the painful reality of their son's behavior. As the house became quiet, Kelvin's mother cried alone. She remembered all the moments she ignored his behavior because she was too tired or distracted to correct him. Now, regret filled her heart. Discipline may seem difficult today, but lack of discipline often brings pain tomorrow. While one family struggled with pain, the other family began to enjoy the fruits of good parenting. Samuel received an award for leadership, honesty, and academic excellence. His parents smiled proudly, knowing that consistent love, prayer, and correction had shaped his life positively. Kelvin's younger sister, Anita, also began to change. She watched her brother's behavior and slowly copied his lifestyle. Without strong guidance at home, she too began sneaking out at night and keeping dangerous company. Bad influence spreads quickly inside a family. One rainy night, Kelvin and his friends decided to race through the streets recklessly. Within seconds, everything changed. A terrible accident left Kelvin seriously injured by the roadside. The same freedom he once celebrated nearly destroyed his life. At the hospital, Kelvin's parents sat in tears beside their son. Fear, guilt, and regret filled the room. For the first time, his father realized that parenting was more than providing money and shelter. Children also need direction, discipline, and emotional support. As Kelvin slowly recovered, he finally opened his heart to his father. He admitted that deep inside, he had always wanted guidance and attention. His father wept bitterly, realizing too late that children often hide pain behind rebellion. The entire neighborhood began discussing the importance of raising children properly. Many parents realized that society cannot replace parental guidance. If parents fail to teach values at home, the streets will teach something else. After everything they had been through, Kelvin's family finally returned to God together. They began rebuilding their broken home with prayer, honesty, and love. Although the scars remained, healing slowly began. Years later, Samuel became a respected mentor to young people, and Kelvin, now wiser from painful experiences, shared his story with troubled teenagers to warn them about bad choices. Both young men had learned one important truth: the decisions made during childhood can shape an entire future. Parenting is one of life's greatest responsibilities. Children are like seeds. Whatever is planted in them early will eventually grow. Love must be balanced with correction. Freedom must be balanced with wisdom. And every child deserves guidance before the world begins to guide them wrongly. A home built with discipline, prayer, and love may not be perfect, but it can change the destiny of a child forever.